Hi there, and welcome back to Jediism 101. So, in this series, we've been learning about how to be a Jedi realist in today's times. And as we've discussed, a Jedi realist is somebody who has taken a look at the lore of Star Wars, the Jedi specifically, through the movies, the books, the TV shows, and the comics, and have figured out how what their philosophy is working and tried to apply it to their real life. This is a lot harder than you think it would be, but it is a system of beliefs and structures and behaviors that can really create something unique and awesome. And the best thing about Jediism is it is very, very welcoming. Anybody from any walk of life can join as long as they confirm, or I should say conform, as long as they can work within the rules, the tenets, the code, all that kind of stuff. So if you're ever interested in it, there's ways to join. Just find a Jedi temple online. There's a lot of them. Some of them have moved to Discord. The online temple that I was a part of no longer exists, but there are still several out there. And what we've been currently working through in this series has been the 16 basic teachings of the Jedi, and we are moved up to number 9. Number 9 is Jedi protect the peace. We are warriors of peace and are not ones to use force to resolve a conflict. It is through peace, understanding, harmony, and conflict. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. It is through peace, understanding, and harmony that conflict resolve. Conflicts. I need to reword that entire phrase, but you get the idea. Jedi are peaceful. We are negotiators. We are people who look towards a peaceful solution. We seek our knowledge, an understanding of what is around us and the conflicts between people, factions, ourselves, work, the world, all this kind of stuff. And we attempt to bring it more into harmony's way to resolve it. Now, I'm probably going to get questions about this considering what the movies were all about. Um, Jedi are not pacifists. And when you look at the philosophies and the practices of them, you could totally see pacifism. Trying to solve conflict through words, through deeds, and through generally harmless actions. But as we see throughout the movies, the comics, the shows, whatever, what have you, that Jedi are constantly getting into combat. The prequel trilogy, that's all it was. It was just a galactic war. But the original way the Jedi were supposed to be were people who followed the Force, not political ideologies, but did the right thing because it was the right thing, not because it was legal, not because a political body, the Galactic Senate in this case, had said something. Nope, they followed the way towards peace through the Force. And when you go from what the ancient Jedi were back in some of the older Old Republic books, and then fast forward it to where we see the new, see the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy. War is a thing, and when you try to resolve as best you can before it comes to battle, before it comes to I guess the current term is throw hands. But before it comes to that, you reach everything you can. Now, Jedi, being who they are smart enough to know that words do not resolve everything. We would like that to happen, really. Negotiation, understanding, education to bring harmony, that is a lovely idea. It really, really is. And I wish with all my heart and being that would work. It's unfortunate that we get pressed into combat. My old martial arts teacher used to have a saying, and I know it's one of the martial arts I studied when I was a kid, but it was never start a fight, but always finish what you've been pushed into. I outside of tournament is tournament, but outside of that, I do my best not to get involved in a fight, and I do my darndest to make sure that I'm not the one that throws the first punch. Hey, none of us are perfect. It happens. But the whole reason for learning martial arts is the hope that you never have to use them. Jedi study for decades the lightsaber, unarmed combat, all of that. They study it. And they are, and you have some the masters out there, the ones, like, if we look in the fictional world, we look at Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's the master of Form 3. We look at Count Dooku, the master of Form 2. Mace Windu, the master of Form 7. These are people who have dedicated themselves to learning the style of combat that they need to work with, and modifying it here and there, because sometimes what they've chosen just doesn't work. It's called changing tactics. Every martial arts has two different forms. It has the learned art, and it has the combat form. Martial artists, or in this case Jedi, need to know both. They need to know negotiation. They need to know tactics and learning and education. And they also need to know the flip side of the coin, which unfortunately is violence. So, but you can be non-violent in a violent world. You can, ignite the saber only if you have to, only when it's necessary. And I hope that you never have to. And for those of you that have had to, I'm sure it wasn't your fault. But keep in mind, Jedi are beings of peace. We're not conflict avoidant, but we will try to avoid an all-out conflict that has no words but only actions. So, as always, make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment for me, leave a question for me. I'm a big Star Wars geek with a capital G. If you have a question on something Star Wars, I probably know the answer to it. But as far as Jediism goes, if you have a question about that, please do ask me a question. I'll be more than happy to answer that as well. Until then, make sure that you drink more water, get some healthy activity in there, eat clean or eat well, be kind to the environment, be kind to animals, be kind to the people that you meet every day, because they are fighting battles that you don't know anything about and you do not want to make it worse. And always do your best to be kind to yourself. Until my next video, you have a great one, and may the Force be with you.